Hi everyone, welcome to Riley's Garden, and this week we're talking about 6 key steps to growing your best carrots ever. The 6 steps to growing carrots we're going to talk about today are things that I've learned over the years from other gardeners, things that I've learned from trial and error, or things that I've learned just from making mistakes in the garden. But all of these are going to help you grow great carrots. Stick around for step number 5 though, because step number 5 is by far the most important step we take every growing season to ensure our carrot harvest is as great as possible. Jumping right in, let's talk about step number 1, and that is seed selection. There are hundreds of varieties out there, and for a new gardener you may be overwhelmed with all of the varieties that are available to you now. My suggestion, especially for new gardeners, is if you go to a big box store, a Home Depot or a Lowe's, and you look in their seed selection, you're going to see something called a Danvers carrot and a Danvers short carrot. The carrot you saw me pull up in the first scene of this video, that was a Danvers carrot that I grew from this pack and this pack that I purchased at either Home Depot or Lowe's, I don't recall. If you're a new gardener, first time growing carrots, or you've never been successful growing carrots, pick up a pack of both the Danvers and the Danvers short, grow a few of each and see what grows best in your garden, and then we can talk about branching out from there. If you're a more experienced gardener and you're looking for a great carrot, one that I've grown most years in my garden is called Bolero from Johnny's Seeds. It's a storage type carrot and I can't recommend it enough. A fantastic carrot to grow. I'm going to jump right into step 2 in a moment, but first, one more comment about step 1 in seed selection. When you go to purchase your seeds, you may see something called pelleted seeds. The carrot seeds are very, very small, and they can be hard to handle in your hands because they're so small. So what the seed seller has done when he's selling a pelleted seed is he has just taken that carrot seed, he's grouped it together with 2 or 3 of its friends, and he's encased that in a clay mixture. Makes them easier to handle, easier to sow, and once that clay mixture is hit with water or moisture, that clay dissolves away and those seeds should germinate just like any other carrot seed. So if you see pelleted carrot seeds, that's all that means. Step number 2 is amending your bed before you sow your seeds, and you should amend your bed every year with 1 to 2 inches of good quality compost. If you don't make your own compost yet, you should of course start right away. But if you don't make your own compost, or you don't know anybody that does make compost that can share with you, you can purchase good quality composted cow manure at Lowe's or Home Depot and use that in your garden 1 to 2 inches and work that in to the first 1 to 2 inches of your soil. The brand that I use and recommend is called Black Cow Composted Cow Manure. It is very consistent year in and year out, and I've never had a problem with it. If you don't have access to this brand where you live and you buy another off-brand or another brand of composted cow manure, be careful and follow these tips. Number 1, there should be absolutely no smell of manure. It should be fully composted. And number 2, the color should be a rich dark brown or black. It shouldn't be gray or white or any other color. As long as it's rich dark brown or black and it doesn't have any smell of manure, fully composted, most likely it's good to go in your garden, and you can use it to amend your garden beds before you sow your carrot seeds. Step 3 is sowing our seeds, and before we sow our seeds, we make sure that our garden bed growing area is well moistened, and well moistened to the point where if you put your finger in all the way, the tips of your fingers are moist when it comes out. You want to have a fully moist top 2 to 3 inches of soil before you sow these carrot seeds. Now, I'm going to take our trowel and we're just going to create a little trench. How deep do you plant your seeds? Half an inch to an inch deep even. I find carrot seeds will find a way to germinate. But if I had to guess, that's probably going to be about a half an inch when I cover it over. Next thing I do is I take my carrot seeds, and as we said before, carrot seeds are very, very small, so you're going to end up planting quite a few more than you need, which is going to take us into some future steps. But I put some in my hand like this. Put those seeds back. And what you want to do is just sprinkle 2 or 3 seeds, move over 2 or 3 inches, 2 or 3 seeds, move over 2 or 3 inches, 2 or 3 seeds. This is going to make it much easier for you when it comes time to thin these plants versus you just sprinkling constantly all the way down that trench. The next step is just to cover it over just like that. And that's it. Step number 4 to growing great carrots is watering and mulching. And carrots need consistent watering to grow their best. You can do this by going out to your garden every day, putting your finger in up to your second knuckle. If your finger comes out dry on the tip, it's time to water that garden bed. If it comes out moist, you can wait another day and then do that test again. It's a bit tedious. A much better method and a foolproof method that is not too cost prohibitive is going with a soaker hose in your carrot bed. This manifold has a timer on it. Excuse my puppy, Bella is barking at the chickens. I'm gonna go get her. We're gonna give her some sugar snap peas and see if she'll stop. Okay, where was I? Soaker hoses. Soaker hoses, relatively inexpensive. They're about $15 to $25 depending on the length you buy at Home Depot. Very simple to install in your garden. You can turn them on manually, or you can use a smart timer like this. These ensure that you have consistent water going to your carrot bed day in and day out. I leave mine on for 10 minutes every morning. When there's rain forecasted in the area, I will get a warning or an alert on my phone that says your watering has been delayed 24 hours because of rain forecasted. They really are a godsend to the busy gardener because it takes away that step, that added work that we have to do every day to come out here and check the moisture in our beds. It just makes sure that you can feel good that there's plenty of water getting to your beds every day, and your carrots are going to grow the best they can. Now, combined with this will be the mulch on top of your beds and on top of your soaker hoses. I've done a complete video on this, and I'm going to leave a link in the video description down below so that you can have a look at that, add soaker hoses to your garden, and make your life a heck of a lot easier. Not strictly necessary, but if you can do it, I highly recommend it. Step number 5, that all-important step, and one that I said was so critical to a great carrot harvest, and I meant it. And that step is thinning your carrot plants out. If you want to grow really beautiful big carrots like this, it's critical that you don't have these carrots growing side by side touching each other. They're going to prevent each other from growing to their full potential. You want to give these carrots room to grow and spread out. You don't want them to grow a little bit and then run into one of its neighbors. What you end up with is a lot of long, spindly carrots, and after you've taken the skin off of them, there's almost no carrot left. Because you've sown your carrot seeds, 2, 3, or 4 seeds, and then moved over 2, 3, or 4 seeds, after 3 to 4 weeks, those seedlings are going to be big enough to where you can thin those to 1 seedling every 3 to 4 inches, or about the width of your index finger and your pinky if you put them down in your garden bed. You do that for your entire garden bed after 2 to 3 weeks sowing those seeds, you're going to have an amazingly good chance at growing fantastic, big, beautiful carrots just like this. And the last step, and I will go get some snap peas in a minute, guys. The last step is harvesting. And harvesting carrots, I'm going to have to bring you in really close to show you this, but I'll give you an example of how you know when your carrots are ready to harvest. I'm going to try to get you a really good shot of this. So pull this back, you can see these carrots. There we go. Now you can look right on the top of your carrot plant and you can see how big around it is. And if that's the size of carrot you want to harvest, then you just pull that carrot out, and that's a beauty. There are 6 steps that if you follow, I'm confident you're going to have a great carrot harvest. I hope your entire growing season is amazing. And if you're interested in installing soaker hoses in your garden, have a look at this video that I've put up right here. This is one I did a few years ago, but the lessons are all the same in it. All about buying the soaker hose, finding a timer, installing the whole system. It is really, really easy, and at this point in time, all of my beds are on the same system.